Have you ever met someone who could walk into a room, say almost nothing, and still completely change the energy? Someone who feels everything, notices everything, and somehow understands people before those people even understand themselves? That is the mystery of Pisces. And when the sun enters Pisces, or when someone is born with the sun in Pisces, that mystery becomes personal. It becomes identity. It becomes the way a soul moves through the world. Because in astrology, the sun is not just a glowing ball in the sky. The sun is your core, your life force, your deepest sense of self. It is the part of you that wants to shine, create, express, and become. The sun asks one question above all else. Who are you really? But Pisces does not answer that question the way other signs do. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac. It carries the wisdom, pain, dreams, endings, and lessons of everything that came before it. It is a water sign, so it feels deeply. It is mutable, so it shifts, adapts, and flows. And unlike signs that define themselves through control or certainty, Pisces often understands life through intuition, emotion, imagination, and spiritual awareness. So when the sun moves through Pisces, something fascinating happens. The clear light of identity enters the mist. The ego meets the soul. The self meets the infinite. And that is why Pisces and the sun create one of the most beautiful, confusing, and powerful combinations in astrology. A Pisces sun person usually does not shine in an obvious way. They are not always the loudest, not always the most aggressive, not always the person demanding attention. But make no mistake, they leave an impression. They have a way of reaching people beneath the surface. Sometimes through kindness, sometimes through creativity, sometimes through pure emotional presence, and sometimes, without even trying, they become unforgettable. That is the first thing people get wrong about Pisces. They mistake softness for weakness. They see gentleness and assume passivity. They hear dreamy and think disconnected. But Pisces is not weak. Pisces is absorbing. Pisces is intuitive. Pisces is emotionally porous in a way that can look delicate from the outside. But inside, it is powerful enough to hold pain, beauty, contradiction, and compassion all at once. That is not fragility. That is depth. And when the sun is in Pisces, the identity is built around that depth. These are often people who sense what is unspoken. They walk into a room and feel the mood before anyone says a word. They notice the tension in someone's smile, the sadness behind a joke, the loneliness hiding inside confidence. Even when they cannot explain how they know, they know. And right there is the gift. But right there is also the struggle. Because when your sun is in Pisces, your identity can become shaped not only by who you are, but by everything you absorb from everyone around you. That means Pisces suns often spend years trying to figure out which feelings are theirs, which fears are theirs, and which dreams are truly coming from the center of their own soul. That inner confusion is real. Pisces is one of the few signs that can feel deeply connected to something larger than the self and still feel uncertain about the self at the same time. That is the paradox. The sun wants clarity. Pisces blurs boundaries. The sun wants definition. Pisces dissolves edges. So a Pisces sun may go through life feeling both deeply gifted and strangely hard to define. They may know exactly what another person needs, yet struggle to say what they need. They may understand the emotional truth of a situation instantly, yet hesitate to act on it. They may carry enormous compassion, yet forget to protect their own heart. And that is where the rise and fall of Pisces begins. Because the light of Pisces is beautiful, but it must be handled with care. At its highest expression, Pisces sun energy is deeply compassionate. These people often have a natural instinct to heal, comfort, inspire, and soften the world around them. They are drawn to music, art, film, writing, spirituality, psychology, healing, and any path that allows them to turn emotion into meaning. They often live close to symbolism, close to dreams, close to the hidden layer beneath ordinary life. They do not just want success. They want significance. They do not just want attention. They want connection. They do not just want to be seen. They want to be felt. And when a Pisces sun steps into that gift fully, something extraordinary happens. They can create beauty out of pain. They can give language to emotions other people have never been able to name. They can make others feel less alone. They can restore hope without forcing it. They can remind people that softness is not weakness, Intuition is not foolishness, and sensitivity is not something to apologize for. That is when Pisces becomes magnetic, not because it chases power, but because it touches something real. Still, every gift has a shadow, and the shadow of Pisces is escape. When reality feels too harsh, too cold, too demanding, Pisces can drift. It can disappear into fantasy, idealism, nostalgia, denial, or emotional avoidance. A Pisces sun may see the best in people for far too long. They may love potential more than reality. They may stay in unhealthy situations because they believe healing is just one more chance away. They may tell themselves a beautiful story when the truth is standing right in front of them asking to be faced. And that is where the heartbreak often enters. Because Pisces does not usually break from lack of love. Pisces breaks from giving too much of it to the wrong places. This is especially true in relationships. A Pisces sun loves deeply, not casually, not halfway. When they care, they often care with devotion, tenderness, imagination, and a real desire to merge on a soul level. They crave emotional intimacy, spiritual connection, and the kind of love that feels fated. They can be incredibly romantic, incredibly forgiving, and incredibly present when they feel safe. But the same heart that loves so beautifully can also get lost. A Pisces sun may confuse empathy with responsibility. They may try to save people who are not ready to save themselves. They may ignore red flags because they can see the wounded child underneath someone's bad behavior. They may stay loyal to a fantasy long after the facts have changed. And this is where the lesson becomes urgent. Pisces does not need less heart. Pisces needs stronger boundaries. That is the turning point. The true evolution of a Pisces sun is not becoming colder. It is becoming clearer. It is learning that compassion and boundaries can exist at the same time. That kindness does not require self-erasure. That sensitivity becomes true strength only when it is protected by discernment. Once a Pisces sun learns this, their energy changes completely. Now they are not drowning in emotion. They are guided by it. Now they are not being pulled in every direction. They are choosing where their heart belongs. Now they are not just dreaming. They are creating. And that is when the sun in Pisces becomes one of the most luminous forces in the zodiac. There is also something deeply spiritual about this placement that cannot be ignored. Pisces is traditionally ruled by Jupiter, the planet of meaning, wisdom, and expansion, and in modern astrology it is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, mysticism, transcendence, illusion, and divine inspiration. So when the sun is in Pisces, identity is touched by both faith and mystery. There is often a longing for something greater than everyday life. A sense that life must mean more than schedules, status, and surface-level achievement. That is why many Pisces suns feel restless in environments that are emotionally dead. They can function there, but they do not come alive there. They come alive where there is beauty, meaning, imagination, healing, human truth. Put them in a world of pure competition, harsh logic, and constant emotional suppression, and something in them starts to dim. But place them where empathy matters, where creativity matters, where intuition matters, and suddenly they glow. Suddenly their presence changes everything. Suddenly the person who looked quiet becomes the one everyone trusts, the one everyone opens up to, the one who sees what no one else sees. That is the second climax of Pisces and the sun. Its power is often delayed, but once it appears, it runs deep. And maybe that is exactly the point. The sun in Pisces is not here to dominate the room. It is here to transform the atmosphere of the room. It is not here to scream its identity. It is here to reveal that identity can be fluid, soulful, and compassionate without being weak. It is here to show that some of the strongest people on earth are not the ones who feel the least. They are the ones who feel the most and still find a way to remain open. That is Pisces, a sign that reminds us endings are sacred, that intuition is real, that emotional truth matters, that what is invisible can still shape an entire life. So if you have a Pisces sun, or you love someone who does, remember this. Your gift is not just that you feel deeply. Your gift is that you can turn feeling into wisdom. You can turn pain into art. You can turn compassion into healing. You can turn imagination into vision. But only if you stop abandoning yourself in the process. That is the real relationship between Pisces and the sun. The sun says, become who you are. Pisces says, become who you are without losing your connection to something greater. The sun says, shine. Pisces says, shine in a way that heals. The sun says, live from the center of your being. Pisces says, and do not forget the soul while you are doing it. That is why Pisces energy can feel almost otherworldly, because it carries both the ache of being human and the memory of something beyond the human. It understands longing. It understands surrender. It understands the beauty and danger of loving without walls. But its greatest lesson is learning that spiritual depth means nothing if your own identity disappears inside it. Pisces is at its strongest when it stays soft but rooted, open but discerning, compassionate but clear, dreamy but honest. Because once that balance is found, the Pisces sun becomes more than a gentle soul. It becomes a guide, a creator, a healer, a mirror, a light for people who have forgotten how to feel. And maybe that is the real secret. Some people shine by standing above the crowd. Pisces shines by reaching into the heart of the crowd and waking something up. If this spoke to you, if you saw yourself in Pisces, or if you finally understood someone in your life a little better, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more astrology that goes deeper than the surface.
Thanks again for watching the video. I surely appreciate your support. If you enjoy it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really help a lot and motivate me to keep making more videos for you. See you in your next one. Bye.